Hey guys, this is my 2026 LPL Preseason Ranking video, and I already know that LPL has already started. I was supposed to get this out by last week, but I've just been procrastinating this video, but I've also been having issues with my editing software and my mic, as my mic was not picking up on my videos, and I'm super sorry for that. But anyways, let's get to start with the LPL Preseason Ranking, even though I've already seen some of the games play out. Some of my rankings will incorporate the Demacia Cup into it, but most of it is just based on my opinion. I'm going to probably give my opinion on some of these, but yeah, I think a lot of people will disagree with this, but it is my opinion, so don't get mad. But just give me your opinion in the comments of how you guys see, what do you guys think of like the teams and how they'll do. So for TT Gaming, the notes I have notes for every team, but the notes I put for this is that they're all rookies, and you know me, I don't really like rookies, and everyone has been removed from this roster besides Feather. Feather is the only player sticking from this roster that's not a rookie and is like an OG on the roster. But I just do not think this team's going to get far, and I just think they're going to be bottom 2, bottom 3. So yeah. In 13th place, I decided to put Ultra Prime. This team just doesn't seem right, because 3 of their players, if I'm not wrong, are from the Academy team, plus Grizzly. He's an Academy player from the LCK. I did see him play in Tier 1 for a little bit, but not a lot. And Henna, he was on the Lion roster, and he was pretty impressive, but I just don't think this roster is going to get far. 3 Academy players, 2 LCK players. I just bottom 3. Now at 12th place, this is going to surprise a lot of you guys. I actually was surprised myself that I put NIP this low. But the reason why I put NIP this low is not because of top, mid, or bot. It's just because of jungle. Guwon was on DFM last year, and that team was actually so bad. And I wanted to see something out of him, but I just don't think I saw enough out of him. And if he wants to prove himself as a good jungler, I need him to prove it this LPL season. This roster has really good players. Hoya was from TT Gaming, Kare was from, if I'm not wrong, FPX with ASUM, and Zujuo was on JDG with playing with Pace. So I think this roster can get far, but until they prove it to me, I will be ranking them this low. At 11th place, I decided to put WE. They brought in 2 rookies, About and Yao Yao, from an Academy and LCK Academy. And the 3 main players that have stayed, Karis, Monkey, and Cube. If I'm not wrong, Karis did play in the LCK, but he wasn't really that good. But these players are stable, and I just think they won't really beat the teams above them. So at 10th place, I decided to put OMG. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on this, because last year they placed like last in their group. They didn't even play in split 3 because they're knocked down and placed low, and so they haven't really played for an entire year. But I'm going off based off of results, so I haven't seen this game. Also, this is like a low tier team, so I don't think it matters that much. But the top, this team has the same top laner and bot laner, but they have brought in a different jungler and mid laner. They also brought in the jungler of Juhan from the LCK, and you know he's a world's winner, but he's on the Academy team, so I can't really say much about him. But Hai Chao was on the disaster of a LNG roster last year, so this team looks horrible. But going off based off of Demacia Cup, I feel like, you know, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, I'm putting them at 10th. Okay, now that we're reaching the top 9, I feel like this is where the players actually get kinda good, and it will just get better from here. So at number 9, I put EDG. EDG has kept 3 of their players from last year, and they also brought in Leave and Parukia from NIP and their Academy team. Now, I know Angel is this amazing player back then, but from the time I've been watching Angel in the LPL, I have not heard this guy at all. I assume he's a really stable mid laner, though, from how they place in the LPL on ADG. And so I want to see how he does in the LPL season. And also, they have Leave. I think Leave was a really fun AD carry to watch, playing on NIP. He did play with Doinby, so I think that contributed to how their team's success. Maybe I could be wrong about that. Maybe Doinby just is like, you know, old. Maybe he's unk. But he looks like an incredible player. So I think this EDG roster looks fine. I think they'll be able to get some wins, get some losses, but I think they'll surprise people in the LPL. So at number 8, I decided to put LGD Gaming. And most of this comes from the Demacia Cup, as in the group stage, in stage 1, LGD were able to get out, winning against TT Gaming and some random Academy team. And in stage 2, they were actually also able to get out, beating NIP and Team WE. And in the knockout stage, they were also able to beat AL, Anyone's Legend, with their entire roster. So I think this team does have the potential to, upset, but this is the Mania Cup, so I'm not taking account that they're top 5 material. Okay. After a disaster year for LNG last year, as they placed last in basically everything, at 7th place, I decided to put LNG here. This LNG roster is actually underrated, I think, as it has a bunch of great players. It has 1xN. 1xN is an amazing bot laner. You guys need to watch this year. At least I think so, too. We also have Missing, who has taken a small break last year playing on JDG. So he might be a little rusty, but this team also has Bulldog. Bulldog was one of the most consistent players in the LCK. Although he wasn't good, he is a great mid laner he is a great mid laner. And we also have Krako from DRX, and then we also have Sheer, who is on JDG while also being on FPX. So, and this kid's a talent, I think. He's still really young. He's only 20, and so I think he has a lot of potential to still grow. At 6th place, I decided to put Top Esports. I think that since they lost 2 of their star players, with Kanavi being gone and Jackie Love being gone, and having their replacements be literal downgrades, I don't think this roster has that spark to them anymore to contest top 5. I mean, they literally lost Jackie Love, one of the best AD carries in the LPL, while also losing Kanavi, one of the best junglers in the while also losing Kanavi, who's also one of the best junglers. So I think this team still can be good, as they have 369 and Cream, but I don't think that's enough to carry them to, first stand. Now, at 5th place, I decided to put Invictus Gaming here, as similarly with Top Esports, they also lost most of their main players, as they also lost the Shy, they lost Gala, and they lost Mako. So this really is why they're bumped so low. Now, I know that IG did win Demacia Cup, but I think the teams above them are better, though. At 4th place, we have JDG. JDG has brought in Junja, Honkyu, Gala, and Vampire. Not only does this team have the most talented, developing LCP player on their team, but they also have one of the best AD carries in the LPL. Plus, they have Tabe as their coach. So I think this roster is going to be amazing in the LPL. And I think they'll be able to grow as the LPL season moves on. I think they're not going to make first stand, as I'm placing them 4th. But I think from their mistakes they make, I think they will improve upon them and then maybe make Worlds. I think they can make Worlds. I think it's really possible for them. At number 3, I decided to put AL. It's really interchangeable with, I think, JDG. Although, because this core team has stayed together for so long, as in like a year, I do think that they're going to be better than JDG for at least the first split of the LPL. They did bring in Genji's coach from LCK, Helper. So I also think that his coaching style is going to be really effective on AL. And so that's why I decided to put them 3rd. Alright, a lot of you guys are going to get mad at this, but this is my opinion, this is my video, so I decided to put Weibo Gaming at 2nd. I honestly think Weibo Gaming is an underrated team going into the LPL split, as this team has Xiaohu, Jeje, Zika, Elk, and Urha. Elk was replaced with Viper on BLG, and I still think Elk is a great... I think he'll work well with Weibo Gaming. Plus, I don't think JJ is a bad jungler. Plus, Zika, I think Zika was just on a bad roster. I think all these players are great. Urha, I think the weakest player on this team is Urha, but that's because I haven't seen much of Urha. I still think this Urha is a great player. So, I'm putting them 2nd. I think this team can make first stand. That's my underrated pick. At number 1, I don't think this is really surprising. I think everyone thinks that BLG is first in the region for the LPL, and I think so too, as they got rid of their jungle problem. They decided to bring back Jun from JDG, and JDG I think is one of the best junglers in the LPL, as yeah, he's the best. Even though he didn't make Worlds on that JDG roster, it wasn't really his fault. It was kind of Scout. It was their entire team. The entire time they lost. The only reason why they lost is because of Scout. I think that's why. Because Jun and Pays were the only ones who were carrying the team, putting the team on their back. Now Xiaoju, it's not Xiaoju's fault. It's not the support's fault. As Xiaoju, it was not his fault. I can't blame Xiaoju for the circumstances that the team had. So, but yeah, Jun, best jungler in the LPL. Plus, I'm not even done. They also brought in Viper, one of the most dominant and most skilled and most consistent AD carries in the LCK, and he's back in the LPL. The last time he was back in the LPL was in 2022 on EDG, and it's kind of interesting to see how Viper will do now that he's back in the LPL. And so, I still think this team is number one. They also have Knight and Bin and On. Although they did have a very disappointing, like, I don't even think disappointing is the right word. I think it's worse than disappointing, but even though they had a disappointing Worlds performance, these guys are still the best in LPL, and so I think they will make first team. They will, 100%. Anyways, that's the end of the LPL preseason ranking for 2026 first split, and I'm super thankful for everyone who's watched my videos. I've been getting comments from a bunch of people that are well known in the LoL esports community, and they've been thanking me and saying they like my content, and really happy that I'm in the community. And I'm also happy that I'm in the community too. I want to thank you guys all. And I am going to make more content. I'm sorry, I just been running into issues. I was going to get this video out earlier, and I'm super sorry about that. And I know this ranking is going to be like jumbled up. A lot of people are going to hate it, but you know, it's my opinion. And I'm just happy to share my opinion. You know, people hear my thoughts. And so yeah, thank you for watching. And you know, I don't know what video I'll make next, but I hope you guys will enjoy it.